Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, your debt just keeps growing, like you're stuck in a loop you can't escape? What if I told you your debt didn't start with your spending? It didn't start with your income. It actually started before you ever earned your first paycheck. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Because the real reason you're in debt isn't just about money. It's deeper, rooted in how you think, feel, and respond to your financial life. And by the end of this video, you'll finally understand why you're stuck and how to break out of it for good. You've probably asked yourself 100 times, where is all my money going? Why can't I save, even when I try? Why do I keep falling back into debt, even after I pay it off? Maybe you've tried budgeting apps. Maybe you've cut back on expenses. Maybe you've even convinced yourself you just need to make more money. But deep down, there's a quiet, uncomfortable thought. What if the problem isn't out there? What if it's me? This video isn't about blaming you. It's about revealing something you were never taught. Because the real cause of debt isn't just poor planning or low income. It's emotional, it's mental, it's behavioral, and it's often invisible until it's too late. Stick with me because I'm going to share a true story next. And once you hear it, you'll never look at your money the same way again. Let me tell you about Jennifer. She was a 42-year-old school teacher, hardworking, disciplined. She showed up every day for her students, gave her best, and still lived paycheck to paycheck. Every January felt like starting from zero. She'd get her tax refund, feel a small glimmer of hope, only to see it swallowed by credit card debt and late fees. And the craziest part? She tracked every expense. She had spreadsheets. She followed budgeting YouTubers. But still, for over a decade, she couldn't break the cycle. One night, during a free financial workshop at her school, she shared her frustration out loud for the first time. I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. So why am I always in debt? What came next changed everything. The speaker asked, Jennifer, when you were growing up, how did your family talk about money? She paused, then whispered, almost embarrassed. They didn't. They fought about it. They avoided it. Money meant stress and silence. That moment was a mirror. She realized her debt wasn't just numbers. It was a reflection of fear, of patterns learned in childhood, of emotional scars disguised as spending habits. Jennifer wasn't irresponsible. She was unconsciously repeating a survival pattern. And maybe so are you. Most people believe debt is just a math problem. You spent more than you earned. You didn't plan. You fell into the trap. But here's the truth. Your debt isn't just a financial issue. It's a reflection of your identity. Think about it. How you handle money isn't based solely on logic. It's shaped by emotions, memories, and unconscious scripts you didn't even choose. Some people grew up hearing, we can't afford that. Others watched their parents spend as a form of love or escape. Some were punished for asking questions about money. Some were never allowed to touch it at all. So now, as an adult, every purchase, every swipe, every financial decision is filtered through those early beliefs. And most of the time, we're unaware it's even happening. This is financial autopilot. It's when your actions contradict your goals, not because you're lazy or irresponsible, but because your subconscious is running the show. You may want financial freedom, but if deep down you believe money is dangerous or that rich people are greedy or that you're not good enough, your behavior will sabotage you without you noticing. And that's what happened to Fernanda. She wasn't overspending because she lacked discipline. She was spending because money made her feel unsafe, because silence and struggle were familiar. Debt brought stress, yes, but it also brought something else. Certainty. It felt normal, predictable, even comforting in a twisted way. And now, maybe you're beginning to see that you're doing the same. You fight to earn more. You cut back on everything. But the pattern repeats again and again. Because until you change the emotional wiring behind your spending decisions, no spreadsheet, no financial planner, no bank loan is going to set you free. Let this sink in. You don't rise to the level of your dream lifestyle. You fall to the level of your beliefs. So here's the uncomfortable question I want you to carry for a moment. When I think of being debt-free, what emotion do I actually feel? Peace, security, or fear? And if it's fear of responsibility, of judgment, of stepping into a new identity, then your mind will protect you the only way it knows how, by keeping you exactly where you are. But changing this isn't impossible. In fact, some of the smallest shifts can create the biggest breakthroughs. And in just a moment, I'll show you how your brain is actually programmed to seek comfort, even when that comfort is destroying you financially. Stay with me because once you understand this next part, you'll finally have the power to change it. Let's talk about your brain for a second. Your brain is not wired for financial success. It's wired for survival, for short-term rewards, for comfort, for avoiding pain right now, even if it costs more pain later. That's why spending money feels so good and saving it feels boring. When you buy something, even something small, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same chemical hit you get from sugar, social media, or even certain drugs. That new shoes high, that little rush when you order takeout you can't really afford, it's not just emotional, it's neurological. You're literally getting addicted to the feeling of control and instant gratification. And the worst part? Your brain doesn't care if debt comes later. It only cares that right now you feel less anxious, more powerful, even if it's a lie. So what does that mean? It means your spending habits aren't just bad decisions. They may be coping mechanisms, ways your brain keeps you from feeling pain, stress, buy something, lonely, order food, insecure, swipe the card, feel in control, even for just a moment. And over time, this becomes a loop of emotional spending, a loop of relief followed by shame, then relief again, and shame again. It's not about intelligence. It's not about willpower. It's about pattern. And here's the thing, if your brain is wired to protect you using these micro doses of comfort, the idea of financial discipline feels like a threat. It feels like you're taking freedom away, even though in reality, it's the debt that's stealing your freedom. But what if you could still give your brain a reward without sabotaging your future? There's a way, a small shift. And in just a moment, I'm going to walk you through a simple exercise that turns your brain from your biggest enemy into your best ally. But first, one brutal, honest question. One that tells me more about your financial future than your budget ever could. Here's the question, and I want you to answer it honestly, just to yourself. If your paycheck doubled tomorrow, would you still be in debt a year from now? Because if the answer is yes, even slightly, then money isn't the issue. It's your conditioning, your internal set point, your identity trying to keep everything familiar. We think more income solves everything, but the truth is, more money just amplifies what's already happening. If you're stuck in a cycle of emotional spending, increased income won't free you. It'll just make the crash come from higher up. What changes everything is awareness. That moment when you realize it was never just about numbers. It was about who I've been with money and who I want to become now. So let's flip the entire script. What if your debt is not a failure, but a feedback loop? What if it's your wake-up call? A mirror showing you the gap between your current self and the financially free version of you that's still waiting, patiently, to be born? Because the real solution isn't saving more or spending less. It's seeing money as a relationship, not a resource. And just like any relationship, it gets better when you stop avoiding it and start listening. You know what to do. And now, for the first time, maybe you're finally ready to do it. Not from fear, but from awareness. Remember what I said at the beginning? That your debt didn't start with your spending. It started long before you made your first dollar. Now you know why. Debt isn't just a number, it's a message, a mirror, and once you stop fighting the number and start listening to the pattern, you begin to change. Not instantly, not perfectly, but permanently. If this video made you feel something, if you saw even a glimpse of yourself in Fernanda or in what I shared, then you're ready for the next step. In the next video, I'll show you how to reprogram the identity behind your spending, so financial change finally feels natural. Because this journey isn't about becoming good with money. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs debt to feel okay inside. You're capable of that, and it starts right now.